Yeah. Well, it's all about the free drink. I feel like you're.
There's the fun.
For everyone joining us on Zoom,
I'll be here, so it's.
we had a little issue with the meeting being double booked, room, so we're setting up right now.
Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out. So, didn't see that.
Yeah, it's like And then I cut out the brand because.
That goes for your USB port.
Hey, that's how.
Okay.
Only the other little.
HDMI cable only matters if we're setting up the projector.
I think we only need to do that if,
Danny and his wife.
To do that, it would require us to kind of reset, because this is not that long of a HDMI cable.
okay,
We'd have to,
we can skip it, because we all have computers, and so,
if you guys can see the candidates, that's
Yeah.
probably what is important.
and, Fan is on his en route, yeah. And, Randy is maybe gonna do that, but again, this is half an hour.
Forward is all kind of managed.
Set up now so that we don't have to, in the middle, set up again.
Yeah,
And it's fun.
I would agree, and also if we do want to recess, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. Just in case.
Well, I think the extent of it would be me and Brady switching places,
There you
that
go.
I could put in the agent.
Oh, super easy.
I don't think we need it. Randy thought he would be here, but maybe needed to join via Zoom.
See him on the Zoom.
He is.
Some people, boy, easier. Girls recession, 2 years. Early years, this was really difficult.
Oh, right, yeah. They do get through it. How long? But
Here's the table if we need that.
Interesting.
I think we're good on. Kind of just leave that stuff there, even it's fine. What do you think, y'all? Can I call it to order?
I think so.
I thought I'd say the doctor. Yeah, let me check. There's something about thinking Lopez children. Let's see.
I did it before where I figured out how to see the password.
Let me see. Information. Let's see. Find out the. Oh, yeah.
My computer is not like an owl. Like,
Lowercase, all lowercase children.
my computer's a little bit freaking out about the owls.
Getting freaking out, like giving me the email that you sent me this year. And I used to think. We're all having to go.
Next year. On your bag. Okay. So the owl to be in a spot that's going to get a good central view of everyone. What it will do. Whose computer gen-
Can you
In the
try?
room.
Yeah, no, now, show them you need to be unmuted because that's the sound coming through. People aren't gonna hear us if you're muted.
So I have to unmute,
You'll have to be unmuted
Yeah.
for the whole conversation.
and the mic is picking up from there.
Yes, and
Not here.
anybody, exactly,
Okay.
anybody in the room who like joins via Zoom so they can see stuff, but they want to do a public statement, they can sit wherever.
Okay.
If they're further away from the owl, they'll want to project a little more and they'll want to look at the owl.
Okay.
The other major issue is that if multiple people are talking at the same time, the owl doesn't do the greatest job of picking up singular speaking, like people speaking.
Hmm. Do I have to allow sharing?
Sharing is not turned on host. No, I shouldn't need that for the owl.
Okay,
I think so.
and do we need to
Thank
be
you.
out on the screen or when we- normally we can see,
Sounds like there wasn't a need for the projector. If there is, you'll have to move because you'll need to plug your computer into the HDMI cable unless you can.
I don't think we need
Okay.
the projector.
The projector's a little more complicated, so
okay.
the owl is plug and play.
That's fine, now.
That's perfect, yeah.
Okay.
And so, Dan, if you speak,
Hello, testing 1, 2.
so doing it.
You could sing a few bars.
I can't sing, I've been told I can't.
There we go.
Yeah, okay, now it works.
Yep.
The-
I can hear just fine. I just want to let you know that you might want to take it off blur as the background.
Okay.
Thank you, Randy.
Got it, all right,
And so as people speak, the owl will focus on them and it'll change the video perspective. So on Chum's screen, I can see Dan, I can see me and Chum, then we can see a wider view of the whole room.
okay. Great.
Okay, so I feel like I can call this to order now, Moss.
Oh.
Okay. And it can hear me because the owl, and it has keen hearing. I'm gonna call this meeting to order at 3:39 p.m. We have Lynn, Chom, Brady, and myself here in person, along with lovely guests. And our first order of business is to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve? Lynn moves,
Second.
Brady seconds. Are there any requests for revision to?
Yeah, I do have a small request. So I just took a look at RCW 42.30.075. The definition of regular meetings shall mean recurring meetings held in accordance with a periodic schedule declared by statute or rule or by law. So I don't think this has any bearing on our agenda, but I think we should call this a special meeting according to the definition of the RCW. I can paste it on the chat.
Yeah, it was the rescheduling of our regular meeting.
Yeah, any rescheduled meeting is considered special meeting unless like we start the regular meeting and then we don't finish it and then we move to another meeting. That's when it's called that when it can be considered a regular meeting.
Okay, I don't care. So is there any, so you're moving to remove the word regular from the stated agenda?
Yeah, I think the correct legal term is a special meeting. Just for this meeting.
I don't know that I agree with that, but I want to move this along. So I'm okay with removing the word regular from it. And all in favor of approving as amended, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving on to the approval of the minutes. The minutes of the regular meeting of 4/2/26. would someone like to move to approve?
Yeah, I can move. I would like to request that, draft minutes, if possible, is it possible to circulate earlier? We only received all these 4 draft minutes just yesterday. If possible, I would love to have draft minutes circulated soon after each meeting, maybe within
Sure.
10 days.
Yeah, it would be great to have,
Yeah, it's hard to
And then-
recall when
an
it's so far.
employee to do it, but we don't, so, I was finishing them all yesterday. And so here we have our meeting minutes. They did go in your inbox yesterday, and you moved to approve the regular meeting minutes of 4/2/26. Is
Yeah,
there
I
a
moved it.
second to that?
A second.
Lynn seconds. Are there any requests for revision to those minutes? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes as written, say aye.
Aye.
I say aye as well. It's unanimously approved. The next regular minutes are 5/7/26. Someone like to move to
I
approve?
would move to approve.
Lynn moves to approve.
I second.
Joan seconds.
And I do have a request, change. It says that I, move to postpone the approval, because I was, I didn't review, but actually I moved to postpone the approval of minutes because I did not receive and therefore was unable to review the draft minutes. So that should be the corrected, wording in the,
So you moved to change, did not have time to review to did not receive.
did not receive, yeah.
Okay,
Is that true?
That is true, yeah, it was not
I
circulated.
wasn't at that meeting, so
Okay.
I don't have memory of it from just
Yeah.
listening to it.
I just, I'm not questioning, I'm just wondering if that happened. Okay,
Mhm.
because I knew we pushed the
Yeah.
approval till today, but, okay.
Did you catch that, Lynn? Okay.
I can,
All in favor of approving the minutes of 5/7/26 with the amendment of changing did not have time to did not receive, say aye.
I,
Well, unanimously approved. On to the minutes of 5/15/26.
I move that we approve.
Lynn moves,
My second.
Brady seconds. Any requests for revisions?
yeah, I do. So number 3, under discussion, right now it says discussion, for the levy and community engagement. It says discussion about how to come to consensus on the right amount to ask for, discussion on how to solicit opinions. Because it did lead to an action, and that was the feedback form that got posted on the website. I thought it would be, I would like to propose that we actually include that language. So my suggested change is that, under number 3, communications committee, discussed, we agreed that communications committee to post on website, on the district website and Lopez Rock, a feedback form to get feedback from the community. Just to be clear that, our discussion actually led to an action that's actually got implemented.
I don't recall that with specificity. Does anyone else recall that?
Yeah, I got I reviewed the meeting and, at minute 1.27.57. Yeah, I have the I can recall the conversation if you would like.
No.
Okay,
So you move to amend the minutes of the discussion part of the communication committee to include language that indicates that there
was an action that came out of that next steps, and that
agreed that a community it's not a survey, questionnaire would be
feedback
feedback form
form, yeah,
would be created and posted to our website.
and Lopez Rock.
Lynn, did you get that language?
I believe I did, but let me read it and make sure.
Okay,
Joe moved to amend number 3, discussion of the communication committee to an agreement that we will post a feedback form to Lopez Rocks and the Lopez website.
to get feedback from the community.
That's feedback.
That works for me.
Great.
So all in favor of approving as amended, say aye.
One more. Also number 4, under number 4, commissioner vacancy. Right now it says Kit step down and resign as a commissioner. Within 90 days, the commission needs to fill that vacancy. We will advertise for applications. I thought, I would like to, amend it to say that, that we will post an announcement on Lopez Rock and website to, solicit applicants to fill the vacant seat within, 14-day period of response time. Sorry, maybe that's not the most elegant way of saying it, but, just to be crystal clear that that was the agreement.
Why don't you try rephrasing how you would phrase that?
Okay, so,
You move to amend the.
I would like to move, yeah, I'd like to move to amend the minutes to say that we will advertise, okay, yeah, we will advertise for,
The commission agreed to
application.
advertise.
okay, the commission agreed to advertise for applications on the district website and Lopez Rocks with a 14-day response time.
That's in the minutes, that's reflected in the conversation from that
Mhm.
meeting.
Yeah, that
Those
was
words
exactly,
exactly,
yes,
because that's what minutes are supposed to be.
yeah. Mhm. That's exactly what was discussed.
But was that what was said?
Yeah,
I don't recall the 14-day part of it specifically.
you know, at 1 hour, 31 minute, that's what we said. Yeah, you said in 2 different words, 2-week time frame or 14 days, you know, both were used. Yeah, I checked the transcript of the recording. Yeah, that's what was discussed then.
Lynn, did you want to read it back?
No, I need to get where the 14 days goes. Move to amend the minutes to say that under number 4, the commission agreed to advertise
For
the
application.
open for applications by posting an announcement to both Lopez Rocks and Lopez Rec, but I don't get where the 14 days goes.
With a 14-day response
How about
time
for a 2-week time period?
for 2-week time period. So, yeah.
Where does the feedback form go?
What do you mean?
Who receives the feedback?
It's in like a form. It comes into that form.
And do we all have access?
No, but
Okay.
I could share it.
Oh, it comes to you as chair right now?
Well, Lynn and I created the document.
Oh, communications team?
We can't all share
As a forum.
because of quorum, but we could generate a PDF and.
I think that would be good to do at some point.
Can see that, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
One
you
more.
got that amendment.
So we have 2 amendments and we're gonna vote on them both at the same time
Yeah.
because we're amending that whole special meeting minutes. Okay,
All in favor of approving the special meeting of 5/15 of 26 with the additional 2 amendments, say aye.
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 And I say aye as well. So those are approved unanimously. And on to the special meeting of 6/1 of 26.
I move that we approve.
To move to approve,
A second?
Grady seconds. Are there any requests for revision? Okay, all in favor of approving as written, say aye.
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 And I say aye as well. So again, unanimously approved. Okay, our next agenda item is public comment. I have something to read at this juncture. And I will pull that up and read it. Yes, let me read my little thing. You can put it up here while you're up.
Yours isn't a comment.
No, I just read the
I'm
little
not
thing,
gonna time you.
what we do.
Okay, sorry, I thought you were reading somebody's comment.
The Lopez Park and Recreation District welcomes public comment in a fair and orderly manner consistent with Washington's Open Public Meetings Act. Speakers may comment orally or in writing, including remotely when accommodations are requested. To ensure everyone has an equal opportunity, speakers are limited to 3 minutes and the overall comment period may be time limited. Comment should be respectful and non-disruptive. Public comment is intended to inform the board. Board members will not respond during the comment period, though the chair may provide brief factual information if appropriate. Lack of response does not indicate agreement or disagreement. Comments may be referred for future consideration, staff follow-up, or written response. And now, if there's anyone that would like to provide public comment, you can raise your hand now, or in this case,
JD.
okay.
You simply
If
made.
you wanna read it,
I
are you
could.
willing? I mean, someone has to read it.
Okay.
But before you do that, is there anyone else for public comment?
Let me check the room.
John Haldane is raising his hand on Zoom.
Okay, so we'll have John go. So Lexi will be first reading Jamie Stevens.
Yeah.
And then John Helding. Anyone else?
I will reserve the right to change my mind, but so far I haven't decided.
We do a final scan at the end, just to make sure, in case there were late arrivers or what have you.
Don't have the right glasses.
Would you like to be closer here so we can record it? Yeah.
Okay, timer set for 3 minutes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Please begin.
Okay. Dear Commissioners, I am writing in support of Patsy Haber to fill the vacant board position. Her experience, both professionally and in the nonprofit world, brings qualities that this organization can use to get off the ground, especially her budget building skills and financial management capabilities. I was a member of the board of the Lopez Island Family Resource Center for several years. While on the board, Patsy was managing the summer workshop program for LFRC. I was able to observe her expertise. She knows what it takes to run a program. She planned workshops, budgeted for them, found people to run the individual week-long workshops, and recapped the successes. This program operated much like a Parks and Rec for the summer. It enabled kids to get outdoors, especially those with limited means. It was a tremendously successful program for years. I believe that she is an excellent fit for this position. Sincerely, best regards, Jamie Stevens.
Thanks, James.
Okay,
Be Alexi.
thank you.
She was reading for someone else.
And
And then John.
sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay. In just a second, John, we'll be ready to hear from you.
I realized I had it set.
Okay. Or no, wait.
Go ahead, John.
Great. Thank you all for your work and for, as always, welcoming public comment. My comment as you move forward here in filling this open seat is to remember that, and my clear sense of the message sent from the community is the community voted over 60%, which is a supermajority, to form a park and rec. And they clearly understand the need for a park and rec, the benefits of a park and rec. Over 60% of the voters were positively in favor of that. So I encourage you to prioritize finding a new board member that can help you make the park and rec be a success so that you can fulfill that mandate provided to you by the community. And that's going to be finding the right levy that makes sense, the right program that makes sense, the right structure around it, and so forth. So somebody that has a broad set of skills, understands all these different arenas, the school, as well as after school programs, et cetera, and has a commitment to making the Park and Rec a success to fulfill that mandate that came from the community with that supermajority vote. So that is my encouragement to you all. Thank you for accepting my input.
Thanks, Ron. Anyone else?
Was that a yes?
That was a flop. I'm good. I've got no comment on commissioners at the moment.
Anything to add?
Oh, Candace has her hand raised on Zoom.
Okay, Candace Downey.
Yes.
Let me set the timer real quick. All right. Ready. Candace, you can begin.
Okay. Well, I just want to echo everything that John Hilding and Jamie Stevens mentioned, and I encourage Patsy to be recommended as a commissioner. I have personally had memories of her coordinating the summer workshops, and I remember having a lot of conversations with her as a young mother and having to coordinate childcare and those concerns. And she was really compassionate to that void on our island. And I was really excited to see her name listed as a possible candidate for commissioner. So that's all I have to say. And thank you for allowing this public comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Candace.
Thank you.
Okay, I don't see any more hands raised there, so thank you for public comments.
Okay.
And, oh,
Yeah, I just have a question. Who are the applicants?
well, I don't normally do question and answer this time period, but it's Patsy, Dan, and Randy who's on here, and Fan, who is
Also on Zoom.
traveling here as well. Yeah. So I will move on to our first read of the donations policy. And this is not a time for us to make any decisions. It's just a first read of it. And are there any questions around that? We're not going to approve it right now because it's just a first read of it, and you received it in your packets. Thank you for your work on that, Joe.
Thank you.
And putting it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I looked at it, my only thing that I thought maybe we could consider changing was the part around keeping track of donation hours, which seems nebulous and difficult to do. But
Volunteer hours.
volunteer hours, that was my only kind of bit of feedback on maybe
could
changing that
remove that.
language or removing it, just because
Mhm.
it feels like a hard thing to commit to without structure in place to be able to do it.
Yeah, I wondered about the who in that one.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
it's something we could add later if that became a thing.
Once
but-
we have the capability,
Yeah.
the capacity to do so.
So at our next meeting, we can bring that up again and revise as needed. Any other questions or comments about it before we move on?
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that this is a result of not just me, but also, Kit was involved, but he left the committee. And that, as we read in the minutes from April meeting, that, the priority of the committee is board policy and donations. I know we don't have time today, but we would love to bring to you, we meaning the policy committee, which while Kit was transitioning out, we also, I want to acknowledge the work by Deborah, who actually is on Zoom. The last name, let's see, Magyora. Yeah, she's on Zoom. Just wanted to acknowledge that she also put in a lot of time to help, and she has a lot of expertise on the policy.
Great, And then I think at our next regular meeting, once we have a new commissioner, we can appoint another person to be on that subcommittee with you.
Sounds good.
Yeah, bring up that work again. Great. Thank you. And moving on to commissioner appointment with all that. Moving around, we still started it when I wanted to start it. So that's good. As luck should have it. Wonderful. So we are going to start with the interview of the nominees applicants. I think, Dan, I think you are our first applicant. Would you like to start? And in the interest of time, I think I'll ask the question out loud and then you can respond to each. And we want to keep it to kind of 2 minutes per question. Don't feel obligated to take all that time, but we don't want to exceed 15 minutes for 15 minutes for you. Just in the interest of time. So the first question, what motivated you to seek a position as a Lopez Rec District Commissioner? And what do you hope to accomplish in this role?
I'm a longtime Lopez resident and care deeply about our community. I ran for the board in the open election and lost by 1 vote. My message resonated with 50% of the voters. I am motivated to serve on the rec board. As a board member, you have more of a chance to guide the objective than just being a member of the general public. So it's important to be on the board.
Okay, and what do you hope to accomplish in this role? You want to address that part?
I hope to accomplish what the public wants.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Number 2, what is your understanding of the mission of the voter approved district and how will you support that mission as a commissioner?
The short version of the mission is what the citizens voted for on the ballot. I believe the community is still shaping the detailed mission of the district, and I'd like to be an effective part of that discussion.
Okay. Anything more? Is that it? Okay. Thank you. What's your vision for engaging the community to pass a levy and your assessment of the challenges it faces?
The commissioners play a big role in fostering healthy community engagement. It would be our job to listen carefully and be prepared to change our minds. I think the biggest challenge facing the rec district is the 2 back-to-back losses on the ballot. In speaking with voters, I have learned that some who were on the fence were insulted by the implication that a no vote meant the lack of support for the youth. This was a message driven by the sitting commissioners. Overcoming that unfortunate and insulting message is one of the greatest hurdles. But there are other issues, including it's a tough time to support more taxes, and people don't really trust the commissioners to listen and take their concerns seriously.
Or please describe how you connect with the diversity of perspectives and backgrounds, and what does an inclusive parks and recreation system look like to you?
Having lived in Lopez most of my life and serving on various boards, plus being a small business owner, I am comfortable with people from all walks of life. An inclusive rec system would be one that includes those who hold different points of view and do not have to put up with personal insults. It would be advantageous for all involved to participate healthily, open debate skills, and make decisions accordingly. And my personal belief is that people are people. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like. It comes from your heart and what you do.
Dan? Describe your communication skills and how you intend to build trust and collaborate with fellow commissioners and the public.
I tend to be a person who is not hateful. I don't use insulting or snarky language, even when I disagree with people. I listen to many people from all sides of the fence, both sides, up, down, doesn't matter. Then I put it in my little head, I shake it around, and then I make a decision. I listen to all people.
Okay. Describe your past efforts to support Lopez Island youth.
So supporting youth, I was a basketball coach at the school. At the school, during intensives, which the school had for, I don't know if they still have it, but they had it for many years. I taught boat safety for many years. And I even taught class about rocket science at the school.
I think you taught one of my kids that.
And we had a lot of
I
fun.
tend to believe it was the boat safety. I remember you maybe putting a loud alarm on. Got a lot of feedback.
It's been boat safety.
Yeah.
I even host field trips to my house for the kids, or for some of the kids. And in the past, I've hired a lot of Lopez youth to help me. I had a business where I needed some help once in a while. So I hired Lopez youth and actually paid them.
Great. Well, thank you, Dan. I don't know who applied in what order. Maybe Randy was next, actually. Randy, do you want to turn on your video and wave a hand if you're ready to go?
Let me play with my camera. It's being a little finicky at the moment. Maybe take someone else and I'll be next if that's okay. I got to figure this out.
Yeah. Would you like to go, Betsy? Sure. All right. Wonderful.
Can
you hear me okay from here?
I can. Just
people on?
The Zoom?
The owl should be able to.
yeah. Okay. Do the same thing. Ask you the question. You give your response.
Okay.
So the first question: what motivated you to seek a position as a Lopez Rec District Commissioner, and what do you hope to accomplish in this role?
I think I first became motivated when the levy failed in April. I was extremely disappointed by that. I've raised 3 kids here on the island, and I know firsthand how important enrichment activities are for kids and sports. And that coincided with the fact that since I've been retired, I've been looking for the right opportunity on Lopez Island to volunteer. And what I thought would, best use my talents. And when I thought about it, I thought this is really a perfect match. My educational background is, I have a BS in business administration, and I have worked 16 years with a family resource center, creating and managing an assortment of programs for kids as well as adults. And I've also served on the Lopez School Board for 6 years. So when I sat back and thought about it, I thought, that feels like a meaningful way that I can contribute. And as far as my priorities of what I want to accomplish in this role, the number one priority is getting funding so that Lopez Rec can do its mission. I don't really see how we can do it without funding. So that's the priority. And then secondarily to that, I really want to build the community's trust and confidence in Lopez Rec.
Great. Thank you. The second question: what is your understanding of the mission of the voter approved district, and how will you support that mission as a commission?
I went to the website, I have to say, to look to see what is the mission, and it said it was to expand access to recreational programs, facilities, and community resources for all island residents through voter-approved funding for community athletics, youth sports, and out-of-school care on Lopez Island. So that was what was on the website. It didn't specifically say this is the mission, but that's what I understand to be the mission. And as far as how I will support it, I think one of the key things is listening to the community, getting their input and formulating a levy that will pass, and helping to make sure that the community understands better what we're really trying to do. And to just do that with being a sincere, thoughtful, transparent, and approachable steward for the local.
Great, thank you. What's your vision for engaging the community to pass a levy and your assessment of the challenges it faces?
I think I'll start with one challenge that kind of precurses what I think the approach should be, is that we have limited time. Because my understanding is that in order to have it be effective for the 2027 school year, so that we don't again have to have private solicitation of donations to fund things like school sports, that it really has to pass or be put out in November. So I realize that's a really short time frame. But ideally, I think we need more community input. I know that there's been some surveys done and feedbacks, we need to understand them. I also personally think that listening sessions would be really valuable to have, and I'd be willing to help with them. Secondly, based on that input that we received, I think we need to formulate a budget and a levy rate that meets the community needs and our mission. And also one that everybody on the board can get behind and support. After that determination is made, I think we need info sessions again to communicate with people so that they're getting a clear message. I felt like a lot of the messaging was out there on social media, and as your husband spoke at the last meeting, that can be a tough way for people to form opinions if it's being based a lot on that. So I feel like more info sessions would be really helpful. And just by trying to be transparent and approachable as possible. Yeah, as far as the challenges, I totally agree with you, Dan, that having 2 back-to-back failed levies is a challenge. People have maybe formed opinions already. That are they tired of it? Are they willing to entertain more ideas, etc.? I think that they need to really feel like they've been listened to, maybe more than they feel that they have. I have talked with a lot of people, and I think the economy definitely plays a big part for people. It's a tough time and a lot of uncertainties. And I think that there was a lot of confusion about the last levy and what it really represented as far as, what was the structure of it. And also I heard a lot of people that were seen very challenged by administrative overhead. So I think we need to address those things that are challenges by really communicating more and getting a better understanding. And then we have to do something that will be passed, even if it might not be the most ideal thing that everyone thinks. It would be a step forward, and it may involve, more collaboration than us taking everything on.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Thank you. Number 4. Please describe how you connect with a diversity of perspectives and backgrounds. What does an inclusive park and recreation system look like to you?
Well, I've lived here 26 years and working on the school board, as you know, and also at the resource center. It requires you to be able to work with a diverse group of people. There's no way around it. There's a lot of different voices. And also just in my friendships, I have different social circles that are very diverse, that are, separate groups of people that I, relate with. And I have to say, I actually really, truly enjoy working with people. Like, that is my thing, probably better than some other skill sets. I always try to listen with curiosity and an open mind, and really look for the underlying needs that are being expressed, whether they're openly being expressed or just laying underneath the surface that people maybe don't even know. And as far as inclusivity, I can't agree with you more, Dan. All voices and people are welcome. And I just think that's something we keep in mind. We may be starting out with the youth programs based on community input. I'm open to it being beyond that in the future if the community supports it.
Great. Number 5, describe your communication skills and how you intend to build trust and collaborate with fellow commissioners and public.
Well, first and foremost, I believe I'm trying to always be kind and truthful and purposeful when I speak or when I'm, and also to just, stay curious and listen with a really open mind before making decisions. And I believe I have a reputation through the organizations here and also my other work life off island to be known to be responsible, conscientious, and committed. And then lastly, I would say I'm a team player. I've been on boards before and I definitely value discourse. I think it's important in reaching a decision, and I also recognize the importance of board cohesiveness once a decision is made. And I will be on board with that.
Great. Number 6, describe your past efforts to support Lopez Island youth.
Well, I really think I kind of thought about it in 2 separate ways, but first and foremost, I've always enjoyed working with kids.
Yeah.
I love kids. So on a personal basis, I just love having conversations with kids on this island. I love attending events, even though my kids have long graduated. I think it's been 10 years since my youngest left the school. And, I still go to sports events and art shows, graduation, awards night, tap shows when I can. I missed it last night. And in the classroom and in workshops, I've volunteered and also been field trip coordinator and volunteered many a time, especially while my kids were in school. And I tried to the best of my means to financially support fundraisers with the school and scholarships for students going on for secondary. On the professional side, I think I've spoken to this, but 16 years creating and managing programs for the LIFRC, which included the summer workshops, after-school programs, mentor programs, the SEMA program for the youth, strengthening families, and then adult classes as well, and small business and peer mentoring groups for adults, and girls' middle school group, which is, anyone knows, fun challenge, especially during COVID.
Yes.
I can still remember those days, trying to keep them separated and masked, and all of us safe. Oh boy. And then I served 6 years on the Lopez board, which of course is serving children, and the most important thing to me of all was raising my 3 children.
Lovely. Thank you, Patsy. I think we can move on to Randy now. Randy, are you ready to go there?
Let's try here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can see you.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to read the questions just as I did before. So the first question, what motivated you to seek a position as a Lopez Rec District Commissioner, and what do you hope to accomplish in this role?
Well, first, thanks for the opportunity. I think from what I'm hearing, we're going to say about the same things, and I think we're all equally qualified. And as you know, as a board member, public districts are the bedrock of local governments. When a district operates with high integrity, it earns the respect and the cooperation of the entire community. I want to ensure that the district is a stable and professional governance. My goal is to stabilize the organization, to ensure full regulatory compliance, to foster a culture of transparency that invites rather than excludes participation. I said in my letter of interest that I represent a lot of boards. And one of the most important tenet that I try to explain to boards is that a boring board, one that follows the rules, is exactly what you need as a tax funding district to avoid liability and to maintain the community's trust.
Okay. Thank you. Second question, what is your understanding of the mission of the voter approved district? and how will you support that mission as a commissioner?
You know, the mission was established by the voters and by the petition. It's to provide sustaining funding for the local recreational opportunities and for facilities. The commissioner's role is to serve as a prudent steward of the funds collected through the levy. You know, I would support the mission by ensuring the district remains lean and mean, you know, prioritizing essential services, maintain fiscal rigor, ensuring that every dollar spent aligns directly with the ballot approved mandate. That's important to follow the ballot approved mandate. You know, the district is a vehicle. It's to empower the various community groups, as I see it, and the youth organizations that actually do the facilitation of recreation activities on the island.
Okay.
Did you say something I can't hear?
Sorry, I just read out the third question. What's your
Okay.
vision for engaging the community to
sorry,
pass
I
a
just-
levy?
That's fine. I just didn't hear anything. You know, a primary challenge facing any levy is the public loss of trust. You know, the thing you have to do is make sure it's clear regarding the community's return on its investment, right? So to pass a levy, the district has to articulate clearly exactly what the funding's for. I think there was some confusion during the last election about what the money was for. And you have to prove that you're going to do it efficiently. If I was on the board, I would try to demystify the budget so everybody is clear. Everybody knows exactly what's going on with the budget. There should be no surprise strategy. You know, there should be early and open dialogue about the district's financial outlook, you know, long before you have any ballot measure drafted to go before the voters. I guess I'm adding that, you know, a clear understanding of what funding is for and what it's not for would go a long way in getting the community to support the levy and the district.
Okay, thank you. Number 4, please describe how you connect with a diversity of perspectives and backgrounds. What does an inclusive park and recreation system look like to you?
You know, inclusivity means removing barriers to entry, and those are not physical barriers, not physical access. It means ensuring that, you know, our programming reflects the diversity of the diverse interests of the entire island, from our seniors to our teenagers and students to the working families. In my experience, I learned you cannot achieve inclusivity through a silo. You have to seek out stakeholders, especially those that are not currently supporting the district. An inclusive system is one that uses data and direct outreach, you know, to ensure that the programs aren't just serving the loudest voices. The district must be accessible to the broadest possible spectrum of the entire community.
Okay. Number 5, describe your communication skills and how you intend to build trust and collaborate with fellow commissioners and the public.
1 second.
Go ahead.
George, I had that stress test today. I'm a little dehydrated. Yeah. Your trust is built through predictability and consistency. As a commissioner, my communication style would be objective and rooted in facts rather than personality. Now, I understand adherence to Robert rules strictly. There is a time and place for being and holding less formal meetings. That often produces better results for the entire community. And in board meetings themselves, I believe in, you know, listening to understand rather than listening to respond. I intend to build trust by strictly adhering to the open meetings regulations. And, you know, that means no text and emails and other discussions that are not in the public meeting. That's a violation of the open meeting regulations. All your deliberations, all the decisions, they must be made in the light of day. That's the law. I would collaborate by focusing on shared objectives like fiscal health, which usually allows the board to find consensus, even when we hold different opinions on the individual programs. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, thank you. And number 6, describe your past efforts to support Lopez Island youth.
So our support is kind of a mixed bag between supporting organizations and active engagement. We have supported the Family Resource Center. We included the funding for the reading program the year they lost the grant. We picked up the rest of the cost for that year. We have supported the Children's Center, events at the Community Center for the Arts, the library, Historical Society and Museum, the Grange, Woodman's Hall, the Tennis Association. I served on the board for FLIP. That was at a time when we decided to participate in funding the school's water system, provide classes for students, provide the path from the campus to the pool. I guess this past spring, I donated my golf membership at the golf club to Lopez Island Youth. And I gave my relatively new Callaway golf clubs to the golf team so they could use them this next year. And of course, we attend all the various fundraising activities, including the Christmas Bazaar when we can.
Great. Thank you.
You have a moment that I can add a little bit? Jenny, would it be okay if I added something? I can't. I'm not hearing you. Can you get closer to the owl?
Yes.
Sorry. Thank you.
Good.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like everybody said.
Another minute. One more minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like everybody's already said, we're dealing with the aftermath of the election cycles, right? And you must honor the voters' concerns. I would suggest no matter who's elected or appointed, we depersonalize any conflicts, that we align the board to the entire community's interest. Once appointed, a representative is responsible equally to supporters, to opponents, and those that don't participate at all. And the current president's emphasis on favoring those who support him should not be viewed as a model for sound representation. Proper representation requires listening to all perspectives, treating every citizen fairly. That's all I wanted to add.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you.
See if I can turn off the audio.
Hold on. And then Than, there you are. Not
Hey,
till
I'm very much on the boat right now. Yeah.
All right.
And there's quite an echo in here, but it's the quietest place I can find. So I apologize. But we just took off from Shaw, so I've got about 15 minutes before I'll need to go. So I have a captive audience, you might say.
Yeah. Well, we have 15 minutes to interview you. So let's
Exactly.
go. Yeah. All right. Number 1, what motivated you to seek a position as a Lopez Rec District Commissioner, and what do you hope to accomplish in this role?
Yeah. As others have said, thanks for the opportunity. Thank you, Commission, for the hard work you've done. And I think despite the challenges, clearly all of you care a lot about trying to get this through and helping kids and adults experience more joy on the island. So can you give me the question again? I already kind of got lost in my thoughts there.
What motivated you to seek the position, and what do you hope to accomplish?
Yeah, I think for me, I've been on the island 4 years. I'm obviously on the younger side. And my first few years here, I had the benefit of really slowing down and getting to experience the great joys of living in a small community and the great benefits from it. And I also saw how that costs a lot to a few to provide that for everyone. And as I've been here a little bit longer, I'm in a spot now where very simply that mode is switched for me, and I want to be part of the group that's giving more than they're taking. And I'm grateful for the time I had where I could take a little bit, and I needed that. But now I'm looking for ways to help our community, and also as someone who's passionate about youth, particularly ways that I think might benefit youth. and that are designed to, create an institution that will be passed down for generations and kind of enshrine things in our community that will continue to serve people, whether or not I'm here.
Number 2, what is your understanding of the mission of the voter approved district, and how will you support that mission as a commissioner?
Yeah. Expanding access, tech department. You don't see that every day. Expanding access. I sorry. Can't get mad at the ferry workers for running the ferry. Apologies. Expanding access, as others have said. I mean, the tough thing being number 4 is you guys have said a lot of really good stuff, and I think I agree with almost all of it. I do need the question again, though. I apologize. Very distracted. And I can't hear you.
What's the mission of the district, and how will you support that?
Yeah, I believe the formation of district is a great idea. I think expanding access to youth. I think youth particularly have, some of them can't drive, don't have a car, can't go to Seattle to play sports or watch a game or engage in certain health activities. And adults can, right? We have more choices in that way. So I think it makes sense that it's a priority to focus on youth first, but I really believe that there's betterment for all ages in the community eventually. So expanding access, we live in a system based on capital that is designed to ever be increasing, ever consuming more. And it's insane then to not think that we also need to look at how we can increase the benefits to society alongside the expenditures to society. So I think it's fundamentally part of being a good American citizen is if we're going to be part of this other system and sign on to that, we also have responsibility to take care of each other in these other ways and enshrine ways that are going to care for the community far beyond our own impact.
Great. Thank you.
Oh man, I wish I could hear you. I think you're a little quiet, Jenny, and it doesn't pick you up.
Describe how you connect with the diversity of perspectives and backgrounds, and what does an inclusive park and recreation system look like to you?
Sure. Yeah. I like to listen. I'd rather have this interview be questions I mostly ask you all than kind of pretend to have all the answers. I don't. And I think I'm always eager to be hearing what other people have to say. That very much is the bedrock of inclusivity, in my opinion. Just kind of have to start by listening, hearing what people are experiencing and thinking. And I think that wasn't me 5 or 10 years ago. And what's humbled me is that when I've been in areas of greater need, I've seen people slow down and listen to me, even if I'm not easy to listen to or my perspective doesn't make sense all the time, honestly. And in that moment, I needed to be included. So empathy, dare I say empathy, right, for one another, and a desire to maybe intentionally look for opinions that are different than yours, maybe intentionally desire to go out of your way and sit down with somebody who isn't on the same page all the time. So I'd really like to see that happen. I think another thing is just self-awareness for whoever does end up on the commission, that we acknowledge our perspective as one of many. And the primary way to do that is going to be what I started this out with, which is just listen to one another, put our egos aside, and enjoy the process together, trying to build something for community. Can't hear you. I'm so sorry. No, not at all.
Yeah, I think your computer's in the way.
No, not a thing.
Wait.
You'd think after 5 years of Zoom.
No, I can't do it.
Which question number are you on? I'll read them.
5.
Number 5.
Describe your communication skills and how you intend to build trust and collaborate with fellow commissioners and the public.
That's kind of funny based off of our little happening right here. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate the help. I love to listen. I think my process to even apply, I met with each commissioner, just asked to hear their story, how they got to where they were. Met with several other people around the process. obviously I've heard all sorts of things in the community. It was important to me to go to the people involved and talk to them. And I'm going to continue to do that, as a neutral party, as somebody who's interested in it and is just ready to sit down and listen. So I think that's the question, but let me pull up what Cho put in the chat. Thank you, Cho. Diversity of perspectives and backgrounds. I thought that was the last question.
You were describing your communication skills and how you intend to build trust and collaborate with fellow commissioners and the public.
Thank you. Yeah, well, apparently it's by looking like a fool here in this meeting. Yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, some of it is the willingness to be wrong. And I think I am. I don't need to be right all the time. Look, I'm young. I got a lot to learn. I think that's a diverse perspective. On our island, there's not a lot of young people that are stepping up to do these things. So I think it could be an asset and it could be a gift to me for all of you to decide on someone like me and training me up. And, I'm sharp. I do have energy to give. I don't have kids or family, just a beautiful dog. And I'd love to be able to use some of my time this way. So, yeah.
I don't know if I call it beautiful, but she is lovely.
She's not beautiful. You're right. She's very sweet. She's kind of ugly, but I'm not going to say that. Oh, I just did.
Yeah. Number 6. Can you hear me now?
Oh, Chom wrote it. Thank you, Chom. Describe your past efforts to support Lopez Island youth. Yeah, right now I'm on the board for 3Vs, which is a small organization, but it's connected. I don't actually know if it's connected to the church, but really the main reason for my support is I really love the executive director, who's her name's Nico Brower, and Frida Kvistadwich are there as well. I just think they're both excellent young people that are seeking to help youth. And they're 20, 21. I'm 32 now. And I'm recognizing that I can't connect like I used to. In my early 20s, I was a social worker really through all of my 20s and worked with middle schoolers. And I'm realizing even I'm a little bit out of touch now. So I get to meet up weekly with Nico and sometimes Frida and talk through how they're mentoring youth and how they're supporting them. I think that's really the pipeline that we all should be looking for. Someone older to pour into us and someone younger to pour into. So it can be very institutionalized. It can look like a Parks and Rec forming. I also think it's being willing to sit down and spend the $5 on a coffee for someone and sit with them in that spot. So I've really enjoyed that board. Beyond that, not much yet, which is why I'm here.
For our commission here, which we need to logistically figure out, but executive sessions are very clearly defined in the RCWs, and this one is to evaluate the qualifications of a candidate for appointment to elective office. It's very specifically outlined. So that's where we as commissioners have an opportunity to share our insights with each other. Executive session we're prohibited from making any decisions in it. So it's just an opportunity for us to be able to have open conversation together. Do you want to see if there's that room up there is available?
Yeah.
Maybe not yet. I thought we were going to be a little further along in that. Please.
Right up above us.
Yeah, just a room up there. See if it is. See if we can go up there.
Feels weird to kick you out.
I know it feels weird.
The windows are open outside. I'm gonna run them and try and get my.
How about that?
Not the worst thing to get outside right now. Well, we can't, just because it's not
Yeah, you can't.
confidential space or whatever. Are you willing to step out? I mean,
You betcha.
we'll find another option. That's what we're trying to do now. But if you're willing to step out, it's supposed to just be us.
That's
So
fine.
I feel bad about kicking you out.
I think you can do.
We,
Back after the
Yeah.
Supposed to say how long it takes.
This is true. Let's see if Asa comes back and there's a room up there.
Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah. Who is the
Typical process is to give an estimate of when you plan to be back so that people don't.
Well, yes, thank you for that reminder, everyone. We will, and I appreciate that. And we're seeing if we're gonna go upstairs here, so. Stay tuned for timing updates.
It's 4:42. You want to say 5 o'clock? Return at 5.
Return at 5?
It's 18 minutes.
The next thing to do is to do a kind of roll call to appoint
We have
candidate to office.
Yeah, do the making the decision as a commission to appoint somebody. Yeah, so.
Which we do in public. We come back to do it.
That,
Uh-oh.
they're like, oh, you're kicking us out of here? I'm like, yes.
Our other option is to kick you out of this room.
That, honestly, I'm okay with that too. I
It
don't.
seems like that's okay with folks. We'll step out. Maybe we'll just do that.
I'm gonna go here. I'll go tell about it. We're just gonna have a bit of this room.
Okay.
Thanks, Lisa. 5 o'clock.
Yeah, around
Okay,
5
you wanna
o'clock.
know.
Or do you want to do 5 till or?
Maybe 5 o'clock, maybe we can.
Bye, Asa.
Earlier. and invite people.
We can't start earlier.
We can't start earlier.
Set a time, you set a time. So
5 to 5.
55.
And then if
That
we
gives
need
us
to, we'll
15
tell you
minutes.
again.
4:55.
So at 4:55, we will return from executive session and I think we should all leave Zoom.
Or the easier way would be to turn off the camera and the mic.
The eyeballs aren't on.
We didn't touch.
There
that.
they are, they're on. It might have just been, Campbell wasn't on, comes in. I'm not sure.
Okay. So we are back from executive session at 4:58. We asked for another little extra couple minutes there. Am I back on here?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. And so we did some evaluating and here we are back in our appointment process. And that looks like us each identifying the candidate that we would individually like to appoint. And that is achieved through a roll call vote. And as Brady is our vice chair, you take roll call votes.
Okay,
And so
we'll go around. So we're just stating the name of the preferred candidate we would like to see appointed, right? And then
Yes.
the majority.
Everyone's interested in. Just want to really say that takes the first step of just being willing is something that's admirable. So thank you to everyone.
Joan, how do you vote?
Yeah, can I explain my rationale? for
We're supposed to
voting
just do names.
Give a name.
Okay,
For names.
I vote for, Patsy.
Okay. Lynn, how do you vote?
I vote for Patsy.
Jenny?
I vote for Patsy.
I also vote for Patsy.
Okay.
I hope Patsy's pleased with it.
Way to go, Patsy. Woo!
Congratulations, Patsy. You are a unanimous appointment.
Yeah, I really do appreciate.
Yeah.
And thank you
Everyone's
those
doing that.
on Zoom as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought, but.
Yeah, thank you to Randy and Than, and thank you, Dan. Yeah. So that is the appointment process. We do have an oath of office that will need to be administered. And we don't have anyone to do it, so we need to round up a school board member or Jane, our county council person, or a notary. But I'll give that to you after this meeting is over. And then it doesn't become official until you don't become official until you've taken the oath. Okay. And I think
We had wished we'd have Andrew Nichols, who's been doing our tech coordinations, but he's away. And he would be able to swear you in as a current school board member. Instead, we have to do it at a different time than this meeting.
Okay. Yes, so.
But
maybe
no
tomorrow we can
backing out
coordinate it.
now.
Yeah.
You can't back out between
No.
now and then.
It's mainly just, we sign it and maybe we can put our signatures on here right now after this meeting.
Because the person swearing them in signs as well, is that true?
Yeah, but ours would be here as the appointed people, and it just says us as a commission and our names do hereby appoint Patsy to the office of, and then we would list it. So. we can
Jenny,
add-
may I ask a question?
So they don't need to, whoever's signing that at the bottom doesn't need to see us sign it.
No, I think we can fill out this information and then do the oath of office.
We had to do one by Zoom previously. So it's,
We can also do it by Zoom with Camelin at our elections.
Okay.
So we could call her tomorrow and have you sworn in via Zoom for her.
Jenny, is an elected sewer district board member able to swear her in? Because I'd be glad to do it if I'm able.
Appreciate that. I think the only elected officials are technically school board members, strangely. I don't know why,
That's bizarre, but okay.
but that's what Camelin told me. Our county council person or a school board member or what do you call it when you do?
Notary.
A notary, thank you. So those were the options, or we can have our elections official at the county do it via Zoom.
Okay.
So-
And do we both need to be there?
I don't think so, but I can help coordinate and get you in touch with Camelin and then she can do it that way. You did that when you got sworn in, right?
Yeah, I did it with Cameron, over Zoom, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll
The
fill in-
library has a notary and the bank has a notary. Can I just go
Yes.
there and have that notarized?
Yeah,
So does IMC.
Yeah. So that seems like that would be the easiest way.
yeah.
I'm only allowed to stand in as a tech person. I can't be an interim board member or school board member.
No. Not a mistake we want to make.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to make sure everyone
Yeah.
understood.
Nice. So we don't have we can't make you official right at this moment, but you're appointed and we'll fill out our paperwork and then we'll get it either notarized or do it via Zoom with Cameron.
Well, thank you for your support.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking forward to working with you.
Thank you, Patty. Can I just say one thing before? I know there are people on Zoom, but I also just want to look over at Dan, who we see at all of these meetings.
Yeah.
And acknowledge that it was not an easy decision because we know you so well from your presence, consistent presence at these. So thank you.
I was gonna vote for Patsy.
In terms of candidates, she's a very strong candidate, but it doesn't take away from the fact that what I maybe admire most about you is you vote with your feet.
Yeah.
You show up and you are showing up and showing up and showing up. And I hope you continue to show up, even though you weren't appointed today, because I value that in anyone, but I see it in you. So thank you.
I also want to add to that, I really appreciate you as a candidate because you bring a lot in terms of like you earn votes of 50% of the voters. And we want to try our best to honor the voters who, chose you. And unfortunately, you didn't get to be on the board, but we want to strive to be able to, make sure they are heard. Thank you.
Great.
Is Stan still on Zoom? Does he know that he was not appointed? Do we know if he heard all that?
Oh yeah, I was hollering about it earlier in a positive way.
Okay, all right, good.
I gave
Thank
Patsy
you.
the old woo woo.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks,
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, very much appreciated.
Yeah, I agree with Dan. I was going to support Patsy too if I had a vote. So
I think it's called a home run. Yeah, thank you, everyone. We can go forward in our budget discussion. I just want to have, it's not really in this meeting for us to make any big decisions, but I just want a little perspective on the numbers we're talking about. And so, I know, well, it gets really tricky we can't share documents, so.
Should it be shared on Zoom? Can you share screen and put the digital version up as part of the open meetings? Or this goes up on the website now that it's been entered into the public record, but it'd be nice if folks on Zoom could follow along.
Share screen in here, do you know, Lisa?
Yeah, you should be able to.
If the host
Famous
allows,
last words, you should be able to.
if the host allows sharing, the host isn't allowing sharing for this meeting. So the host has to.
Who's the host?
Andrew.
Oh, Andrew. Okay, and you're not, he didn't transfer the host to you? Oops.
No,
Was Andrew not on this call?
no,
Then he can't be.
yeah, no host for this meeting right now.
Okay, well, then the answer is no.
Well, what I can do is, maybe post it to the website as
Post it to
the
the
thing that we
website,
discussed.
and everybody that's on
But
here.
is this,
now knows.
is this a new thing?
Let me walk you through it, just so.
But I just want to make
Those are
sure,
the draft budget from 2/26.
yeah,
Is
that we also have a budget committee.
Yeah, I do know. I'm not making any decisions here. I'm just giving some perspective of the numbers we're talking about. So
Is this date correct, that this is the draft budget
That's the
y'all
one
came
that-
up with back in?
that's the one that we worked with.
Okay.
And
I think that
for
answers your question a little bit.
clarity, what I have just, because I think that there's a lot of weeds in the budget. And it was difficult for people to understand what we were spending on youth service.
A lot of what?
Weeds.
Oh,
And then
weeds,
there's lots
okay.
of line items there.
Okay,
So in the effort to clarify for those people looking at the budget, my goal was to, and this is the way I've just been playing with it because I want to play with numbers, is to take out the things that are youth services and just put them as a single line item as it is with the school district. With the interlocal grant. So kind of what was in before was 172,000 and 180 for the interlocal. And then, all the various things that were in there. So I just want to be clear, like, if we're lowering things, what we're lowering. And this is something that we need to do collaboratively at our next meeting. This is kind of like the first read. Just to be clear, and to catch Patsy up to speed and just say, we were working with a budget that has lots of line items. There's lots of things in there. This does correspond to how you report them to the state.
Are these numbers different than what we've seen before?
The only thing that's different is that line items that corresponded to youth services were taken out and just put it as a single line item.
And that's on page.
That's the first page.
So is this corresponds to the 18-cent scenario from before?
No, so you see the
my
first,
staple, I think. First page is this stuff.
oh yeah,
Is that
sorry.
correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm with you.
Wait,
So youth services should be at,
so what line, what page? Sorry, I'm not.
that's what I'm trying to say. Youth services is the first line on page 1. It's in pink. Interlocal, sorry, first bullet.
Sorry. Sorry.
Because the order of the pages were stapled differently.
Well, thank you for doing my work.
So to clarify, Jenny, though, that the numbers throughout this are what we've looked at as a commission, what the budget committee has looked at before, but what you did was you combined.
Everything that was for youth services got put into that youth service line.
Just to make it simpler. to
Wait, how
look
is
at.
that different than the previous budget that came out of the budget committee?
It's not, it's just taking out the line items that were specific to youth services got put into
One bulk number.
one bulk number.
So that we're not, our eyes aren't glazing over at 85 lines.
Mhm.
So as I understand it, the column on the left represents a 23-cent levy.
Mhm.
And if we subtracted 30% out of youth services and made it 120,000 and made all
Or
the
like
other
you could
minuses.
see like 20%
Right,
less
all
there.
if you take all those minuses, then you would end up with an 18-cent levy.
Yeah.
Thank you. And make sure.
So I do kind of want to point out some things like, you know, to get to 18 cents, it's also, you know, an additional 20% reduction in time for, you know, I don't know if we call it a director, but somebody who's a paid staff person for the district.
And the vision includes their involvement in after school and summer programming, because that was.
I would assume, yeah, I mean, that would be,
Because it can reduce.
right.
It can reduce the cost there by having that person supervise that.
For
those
sure,
programs.
yeah. It might be that you have somebody directing youth services and doing some of the work of the, you know, district too. I just, you know, these are numbers for a starting point for us to have further discussion, because 23 cents did not pass.
Yeah.
And clearly, if we're going to bring another levy to the ballot, it has to be at a lower rate.
And then, yeah, so I would like to, I feel like the approach should also be informed by the feedback that we received. And I know you've got
Sure.
some feedback,
I think at our next meeting, we should go over that.
yeah, I would love to see that so that could, you know, somehow if the budget could reflect some of the feedback we
Yeah.
received, that would be really good.
I agree,
Yeah.
that should be part of it. So we do have a feedback form. I would love to get that out to more people.
Yeah, it's not yet posted on Lopez Rocks.
It is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's on the message board.
Oh, okay, I did not see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Lopez Rocks can be hard to navigate, because you don't know if it's on the message board or in the news or, you know, like.
Yeah.
You have to kind of sometimes look in places you don't expect it to be.
Yeah, I wonder
So
if
we
maybe
should-
like a QR code posted locally, or I don't know, because as a board, we're not, I mean, it's not best practice to have us have a Facebook account. It's
Right.
into legal ramifications that I don't feel like we want to go down that road. So how we get that survey out to a wider audience is,
It's not a survey.
sorry, feedback. form.
Feedback form.
I'm open to ideas on that.
It also is, it runs the risk of being not represented.
It very much does.
Again, say,
Right, that's why it's
like
not a
surveys of
survey.
28 people, or like,
Right.
listening sessions where the same 10 people show up
Right,
every time, which is what's happened over the history of this and other, attempts to engage the community. We need to temper it with
Yes,
all the other ways that we receive feedback, conversations.
that's why it's not a
votes,
survey, it's a
etc.
feedback form.
Yeah, but I mean, just to not give it the more weight than other ways that we receive feedback.
Yeah.
But it is a way
Yeah,
for
but
folks who
we don't-
can't show,
I
can't
wonder
or don't show.
about like making a slip that has the Lopez rec. Some way to hand somebody a piece of paper that they're not gonna fill it out on paper, because we don't really have a way to tabulate
Yeah.
that, but this directs them to. I mean, it's like,
We could post a
I
QR
could-
code that somebody could scan and it brings up the form.
okay,
So we've already, I mean, it sounds like we've already put out a feedback form. So the question of
Yes.
whether we're gonna do one or not is not a question. The question
the
now is.
question is how do we get
ensure
more people
the
to
variety
fill out the feedback?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
How many responses have we received so far?
I don't know.
Would be, if you could share the link, just so we can monitor, as they come in.
Now, help me out here. My understanding is we shouldn't share that link,
Why?
just because we can't have a shared document together.
And
You
it's-
can view, we don't, we
Just
we
as
don't have,
viewers?
just a viewer, yeah, we can't edit, yeah,
Okay.
just to view so that we
Yeah.
see what has come in, but
That
we have
feels,
no.
feels allowable. I
Okay.
just don't know for sure. We might want to double check that there's not a quorum
if
issue.
you have that link, you'll be able to tell how many responses there are.
Yeah, so we'll just tabulate the results that
Okay.
have come in.
My
Yeah.
only request with that would be that our discussion of those responses occur in an open public meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that because it is kind of people giving us that feedback, that we're not like putting that in a public place, because that feels
Right,
like
right.
an
But it would be
untrustworthy thing to do.
helpful in considering,
Yeah.
how we should approach the next
Okay.
budget.
And then would you take that to write in our meeting minutes that we're going to share that feedback form
Results.
among the commissioners as viewers
Mhm.
to avoid any open public meeting that thing. Yeah.
That's a decision that
Yeah,
we've made,
yeah.
just to say, does it collect name and email?
No.
You can fill it out anonymously.
Yeah.
It is filled out anonymously
Okay.
unless they choose.
There's no way to verify these are island residents or island voters.
Correct.
And we should double check that if we're all shared on a document, I think it becomes a public document.
Well, it's a public document regardless.
But I mean, we have to share it with the public as part of Open Meetings Act. I think if there's a document that is shared among the commissioners,
Well, I think any document we create is,
Yeah, public.
but I'm just saying that so that we're all aware that if we agree that we're all shared as viewers, I believe that means that we then have to make those responses available to the public.
if it's requested, I suppose. I don't think you're not like obligated to make every document we create available, like
Like posting.
Post.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
if requested,
if it was
it's a public record.
Yeah.
And there's no safeguard on this feedback form, as you just pointed out, as to where the person got a hold of it. So it could be somebody from Kansas filling it out, per se. And we don't know, there's no breaks on someone filling out the form more than
Multiple
once.
times.
It's true.
Stuff
That's
in the box.
again why it's not scientific, it's just some
Right, but at least,
information, it's just some information that might be useful to us.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, and that is the tricky thing, is that, a certain segment, a certain segment, right, a certain segment of anything will respond to things. And a
Yes.
certain segment might not, and
Yes.
that's the challenge we
It
have.
is one of the tools of the quiver.
Yeah,
It is
Yeah.
one that we are making available because it should be available.
We just need to make sure there are others.
We need to make sure there are others.
yeah, we should talk about what
I mean,
are
Patsy
other.
talked about others too.
Yeah, but that's, listening sessions or whatever, I know that we are talking about this right now, but do we want to talk about what else we want to do in order to make sure we get the, the input that we are looking for so that we can determine the right amount, the right approach. And by the way, we have not yet decided on the timing, have we? We don't have the motion to,
Timing and rate have not been decided.
okay, yeah, but one thing I do want to bring up is that from the last round of budget that came up, that the budget committee came up with, there were different scenarios, and yeah, one scenario, I see the similarity, that there are different numbers, that have been, presented here, which, I have not seen, even though I'm on the budget committee. But I do want to say that, the approach, that was presented last time was that, okay, if the full, youth services, were to be as, we consulted with, our, Family Resource Center, through Stephanie Straddle. That's one scenario, but there was also another scenario, where the cost is, not full, not 100%, it's like 50% shared with Family Resource Center, and that, that leads to a lower amount.
The 18-cent one assumes it does not fully fund the Family Resource Center
Right.
programs currently. So the 18-cent, like if you look at the notes, the program, there, if you look at the, well, I guess these notes don't have it, but there was
Well, the minus 30%.
an amount that the Family Resource Center gave to us, the cost of those programs.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's a $300,000 grant, and so kind of what we came up with collaboratively was
A lean.
lean to begin with, and then so just to clarify, if we're making it further lean, it does go to those youth services. There's necessary reduction.
Right. Yeah, I think
And
there's
that line item, youth services, is the Family Resource Center.
It's out of school care, so that would be summer programming and after school care.
And sports?
Sports, well,
Is that-
sure, we did include some in that. We did have teen event instructors and youth special events instructors. And that was more for things not necessarily that out of school care.
But under just to understand the model, so this, previously we were wanting to preserve the option of the rec district providing the after school care summer workshop ourselves, or perhaps the contracted services, or what do you call it?
Contracted services.
Contracted services with Family Resource Center to continue to provide those services. So just to clarify, for this working budget that you have presented, which model are you thinking of? Is this going to be just contracted services, or the rec district also creating in-house capability to be able to provide that as well?
Yeah, I appreciate the question. My understanding of the path forward is that choosing who does what is a collaborative conversation in terms of the level of contracted services or hiring someone as a direct employee to do them. So to me, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter if it's entirely contracted services or in-house provided. There's money for it or there's not. So the method of doing it to me doesn't change whether there's money to provide for it or not.
I think that's a really good question. I would just say that feels like right in Patsy's bailiwick. So like, I'd like to have Patsy yes, and engaged in that. I think that conversation should include Patsy. So I would just say, I think it's a great conversation. We need to have it, obviously.
Yes.
It's the how and the how much.
Yes.
But
well,
right
and that has to include the Family Resource Center, the how to, and that's a long-term conversation too, that may evolve and change according to the needs that we find ourselves in.
But I was gonna say just that the current grant, the 21st century grant that expires in 2027 is for 300 grand and annually, and even the 23-cent levy dedicates 172, which is, maybe 65% of what family resource
It's
center.
actually 330,000, so it's closer to 50%.
And 120,000 is in the 18-cent budget
Right.
for that program, which is a reduction from 300,000 grant
Right.
to 120.
Correct, yes, annually, because the Family Resource Center currently does not have a replacement funding
Right.
plan for that 21st century. grant.
There's talk of a application for renewal, but my understanding is it's unlikely just because the way the grants have been
The grant
treated
is-
lately, not
And this
getting
grant
renewed
is
a lot.
designed as a one-time grant that is meant to build a financial framework with which, by the end of it, the resource center should have a permanent structure in place.
Yeah,
And that's, I guess, not the case.
not yet. Okay.
Yeah, one thing I want to add is that I'm not sure if this is, exactly the same as the one I got on my screen. But, from what I remember, there will be some expenses that could be saved by, going with the model where we support the Family Resource Center to provide, services through, contract services. For example, like registration software and, the scale of website services that we might need, printing brochures and so on. So there are cost implications for deciding whether or not we just plan to let Family Resource Center, take care of the services versus having the in-house capacity to be able to, register with participants and so on. So I just want to, make sure that we distinguish between the two models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and
There
I
isn't
understand.
money for registration software in either of these.
Well, there was somewhere, but I put it just in the youth services. So somebody has to pay for registration
Okay.
support,
I just
whether it's
thought
a
that
family
was-
resource center or park and rec. But I think you're absolutely right in that there are cost efficiencies to be achieved in how that programming is produced. And it should be done with the most cost-effective method. And I think rather than making assumptions about what we know that to be, I think that's a longer-term inquiry in collaboration with the Family Resource Center.
Yeah.
But I would definitely agree that it should be done the most cost-effective way.
Yeah, so, it would be good to maybe then have this number breakdown, broken down. Yeah, would it be good then to try to, for the budget committee to understand, to work out on these numbers more so that we can have a more detailed understanding of, exactly what the, different cost items and whether or not they can be reduced more or not.
This is what this budget is the elimination of all that detail.
Right.
Just for a 20,000 foot perspective, I think, right? But that doesn't mean the detail doesn't still exist, and the budget committee still should look at it.
I think sometimes those details can change through time too. You think like, oh, we won't need insurance if the Family Resource Center is doing it. And then when you go to get insurance, then suddenly everyone says, no, you both need insurance. And so we can make some assumptions and we can look at details, but we also have to accommodate that there's things we might not be able to totally identify.
It's also like, it isn't, the model where we contract with the Family Resource Center can't be an assumption that they're willing to contract with us for $120,000 to provide what is currently costing them $300,000.
Yeah.
Like it's a negotiation, not an assumption.
It's a bigger conversation
Right.
than I think can be achieved in this spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely need, for a variety of reasons, the budget committee needs another meeting
Mhm,
in the next couple weeks.
mhm.
We also have to do that EIN
Yeah,
thing.
right.
So that's-
And also the paying the bill, which I don't know when will show up. Yeah.
It hasn't yet.
Can't pay a bill that hasn't been sent.
I know. Yeah.
And no money to pay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a problem for another day.
Yeah.
apparently.
So this is just a starting point for us to be thinking about so that when we come back together, we have some perspective on what numbers represent. And I mainly was doing this with, we're gonna have a new commissioner on, let's have something in front of us to understand what we're talking about. So,
So we need another meeting.
we need another meeting.
Special meeting before our,
I think
July
that would be
2nd?
advantageous.
July 2nd is our next regular meeting.
And I would
First
say, Lynn, if you want to make a note of it, of the intent of scheduling a special meeting would be to identify community outreach strategies and,
And engage in this discussion with
Engage in
Patsy
this
as a appointed and confirmed
yeah,
commissioner.
and tap into her budget expertise skills. Um, so, again, this is more just like take this home and talk about it. I did do one interesting thought experiment. Every $25,000 in levy revenue is about 1 cent in the levy rate.
Mhm.
So if we're looking for $25,000 of
Mhm.
expenditure, that's about 1 cent.
Yes.
Which is about, if you own $1 million property, that's 83 cents per month. So that's what we're talking about.
So
I
looking
personally,
at-
I appreciate that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at so because our next, regular meeting is 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Are you thinking next week then?
It's gotta be.
Wait, so, another special meeting, I mean, so the budget, committee needs to meet and,
Mm-hmm.
and if we need to meet before, we don't have a lot of
Yeah.
time because
I know.
we also plan to do.
What's kind of
So July 2nd could be our next regular meeting. The budget committee meets before then, and Patsy gets sworn in, and on July 2nd, we finalize the community engagement strategy, and
It could just be,
it gives us 1 month if we're going in November. It gives us 1 month before the August 4th or 6th deadline to file for November.
August 4th, I think I just looked it up. I think I put it in our
And in that month, we need to do
August 4th resolution.
info sessions. If we
Or listening sessions before even, yeah, listening sessions prior to the resolution and info sessions.
Yeah, of course, yeah, that's what I mean from between July 2nd.
Yeah, so given, that, yeah, we don't have a lot of time. Should we plan to do special meetings? No, next
There is-
regular meeting on the 2nd, and then do special meetings maybe likely after that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to,
Yeah,
we're gonna have some in July.
Let's
And
see,
info
what,
sessions probably another. activity.
so there is next week, if we wanted to do something on like next Thursday. Ahead of it, otherwise I would say the week after we should do one, which is, I'm gone for some. Cause I'm having my 20th anniversary.
congratulations. Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm open to next week, like on a Thursday.
Do you think the budget committee can meet before that meeting? Is the question. And that could be a Zoom meeting.
It could
'Cause
be a
it's not a
Zoom
forum.
meeting. We could do a Wednesday budget meeting. I don't think there's a lot we need to like
We
produce.
We also, because we also do have, public, member of the committee too, Carol.
Mhm.
So we need to, as a courtesy, should also check with her.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Mhm. So I would say tentatively the 25th or I could probably do this.
Wait, Jenny, you're talking about a special meeting for the commission.
Yes,
I can do the 25th, but again, I think the budget committee has to at least have one
Right, you
meeting
have to-
between now.
yeah, and also communications committee too, right, to do outreach, strategy
For
Yeah,
the
although
feedback
that could be
meeting.
for,
yeah, I don't
or
think
in addition to
necessarily.
the feedback form, you know, is there anything else we might want to?
Well, not yet, because the strategy is coming up with the next general meeting.
Tuesday or Wednesday, we can put our heads together on the budget. Get it.
Okay,
I don't think there's a lot to like produce. I think it's more of a conversation around
Okay.
identifying kind of things we want to pay attention to in it.
and we did do, you know, we did do quite a bit of work last time that we could, yeah,
The
revisit.
thing is, we have those numbers, so it's, to me, it's, we don't need to do a lot to refine what we think things cost. We need to
Right.
do, the most of the work is deciding what things we're willing to reduce in order to arrive at a lower levy rate. And which is the collaborative conversation.
Yeah, and also it does link to the feedback that we receive too, so.
All the
because-
feedback from all the various forms. that we
Yes,
get,
yes,
not just the
yeah.
Feedback form. 'Cause
Right.
I think certain people fill that out.
So, yeah, it would be good to.
I think we have a
to
month
that.
ahead of trying to gain as much feedback as we can.
Yes, I agree, and
I also
be
think-
iterative.
I mean, if we're doing information sessions, we're not showing up to an information session with a decision about the levy rate.
Correct.
We're showing up to an information session with options to discuss with the community, right? So,
Or listening session, right?
Or just.
or what, I mean, whatever we want to call them, like community engagement session.
Right.
It doesn't make sense for us to, as a commission, to decide on a rate.
Right,
And
yeah,
then
just
go
to
have-
hear,
And then go have listening sessions.
Right. Well,
Because
that's,
then all the listening sessions are, how do you feel about that rate?
right,
As
right,
opposed to, how do you feel about this
right, look at this.
costs and these costs and.
yeah, would you change your vote if,
So
yeah,
what does, yeah, so I'm.
Can we
a little
tentatively
confused
schedule
why-
something for the
Budget.
25th?
I'm
that-
confused why the budget committee needs to meet when you have these numbers and has.
I don't really think we
nothing's
need to
really
meet ahead of
changed,
it,
Because
but
we all are gonna discuss this and we're all gonna get feedback from the community about these two columns at a minimum. Right?
I feel it would be good to meet, just so we can discuss more in detail, just to, you know, I feel like they don't have a full understanding of the working budget that you, have come up
Okay.
with here. Would be good to touch base and also,
okay.
um,
But could we do that next week ahead of a meeting?
yeah,
on the
yeah,
25th?
you can, yeah.
Okay, are you available on the 25th?
On 25th. It's on the budget committee.
Available from afar.
Right now, yeah, Jenny, me and Carol, yeah, and Bruce Krebs has also helped, not so much on the budget, but more on the accounting setup.
Are you available?
Yeah,
From afar.
From afar? And you're
I'll
available?
be here.
And Chom, are you available on the 25th?
yeah,
Do we want to do, we might have to find what rooms are available, because we've encountered this
Yeah.
before where we thought we had a perfect idea and then
Oh,
neither
yeah.
of the two rooms were
Who's
available.
checking time and place for
Okay, do we have preferred times? I would say somewhere between 1 and 4 start times works for me.
I'm free at 2 on the 25th, after 2.
After
I'm
2?
flexible depending, I feel like I want to accommodate the room availability.
Are you free after 2?
Yeah.
How many?
So,
Double check my other calendar to make sure I'm not making promises. Yes, I'm fine on the 25th.
We had a short budget levy discussion as unfinished business. Our new business was to schedule a special meeting, which we just tentatively did based on room availability, right?
Based on room availability.
That's our agenda.
Yeah.
I move to adjourn.
Okay,
okay,
so we will be in kind of contact on just the time, because Open Public Meetings Act does allow us to figure out a time we can do a special meeting. So, but let's tentatively do sometime between a 2 and 4 start time, depending on room
Of
availability
June 25th.
on June 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're writing that in the minutes to capture it, and it will be to talk about strategies for community feedback, gathering community feedback, and a greater discussion of the budget and the numbers we're working. And ideally, Chum, we find a time to meet ahead of them. And
Yeah.
With
if we
Carol.
can, we can
Okay.
Also just meet,
Okay,
okay?
And Lynn, you're getting the room. Is that correct?
Can try.
Okay.
yeah. Can I also request that we maybe just, post ASAP as soon as we can finalize the time and the place?
We're always trying to post ASAP. I
Yeah,
don't think anyone's
yeah.
trying to
No,
purposely delay. We just don't have a home or a staff.
right. Mm,
Okay, so can we,
since it's,
our preference would be a 1.5 hour time slot, is that correct? And our preference would be here, and our second choice would be the library.
Yes.
mhm.
Motion to adjourn is still on the table.
A second.
All in favor of adjourning at 5:39 PM, say aye.
Aye.
I say aye as well. So the meeting is adjourned at 5:39 PM.
Did you say aye, Lynn? I'm not-
I did.
Okay.
I did as well. It doesn't count.
No, it doesn't. Not in this one. Mine wouldn't count. Family
There was
resources.
a time, when I was sitting next to Christine, and you guys had a vote, she was like, ah, if she was, we can't vote. So I was like, I don't know. I didn't.
Can I get a pen and your
It's
signature?
It's like waving.
Oh, I have a
in
pen.
Tortoise.
Oh, yeah, like, probably nobody cares.
Want to specify a time? I can write an email to Carol. To suggest time, or would you like?
Would there be?
Or just general. You can get
Contract.
both, email or cell or both.
Probably not.
You can call me.
I'm gonna text.
One of the,
Apparently I have you, just don't say it.
is that what I or something?
Yeah, I think we, I feel like we
Yeah,
should.
Communicated with them.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Ray, do you wanna maybe just let him do there? Do you wanna put your signature and? Yeah.
Like when we amended this to special meeting, so should I just make it special? Okay?
Yep. We close Zoom. The owl's still lit up. The recording stop, Chom?
Oh, good. Yeah, I should do that, otherwise it could. I think I just need to leave. Okay, I'll just leave the meeting.
No, yeah, that was all.
Okay, we still have a bunch of people on Zoom. Please remember to leave the meeting so that the recording will stop.